Should black churches shelter illegal and undocumented immigrants?
This is From Within, podcast series exploring the perception and realities from within the black community.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. This is Ramon Ray.
Hello, my name is Simmons.
Okay, I'm John Lawson.
Hi, I'm Charlie Sutton.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Alex Sutton, and this is FromWithinSeries.com. Should black churches shelter illegal and undocumented immigrants? What consequences do they face? And are undocumented immigrants getting more services than folks in the black community? What do you think? We'll start with you, Don. What do you think?
Oh, I have the unpopular view.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm all for immigration. I'm not really for illegal immigration. I think that, which is kind of illegal what I'm saying, given the situation and he knew the president was coming, they should have tried to find ways to become legal. So, unfortunately, with people being deported or being scared, I feel for them because it's a horrible situation, but at the same time, it's kind of like you knew this was coming. That being said, the church is supposed to give for everybody. So, I mean, we're all God's children. So, if the church gives, it doesn't matter. If the church gives to a legal person or to somebody in the black community, we're all God's children. So it doesn't make a difference. However, we still do need to help people within our own community or people who have struggled to try to make the community what it is so that others can enjoy the fruits of their labors. So I'm okay with it, but I think that a lot of focus needs to be within our own communities. Yeah, it's an unpopular view, but that's a view.
So is this something I haven't heard this story, so give me some background, some context. What's going on in the church?
Well, go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to say that, black churches and many churches in that case, they have a history of bringing of sheltering people who are in need. I know back in right after slavery, a lot of African American churches, at least I know in Texas, where I'm from, they sheltered Native Americans from being shot and killed for no reason, just simply because they wouldn't work as like slaves. I mean, and there's a history of that of us hiding people and us taking care of other folks who are in need. And I imagine the same thing applies for in recent years with the Catholic Church, with the number of churches that have worked with people poor people who've come into this country from South and Central America and other places like that. And so I'm wondering, if that's what the point of this issue is that what I've been seeing on TV where the government is saying that they will, ISIS specifically, will come into a church and get somebody out because there is no place for them for sanctuary at this point. And I'm concerned about, and a lot of people are concerned about what's going to happen to the black church if they take a stance like that, or should they just back away from that whole thing?
Okay. I mean, the church should be the church. Look, personally, if you're a believer and you believe in the doctrine, then you got to go with what the doctrine says. And so I don't really know where in the doctrine it says that we have to, turn away somebody because of where they came from. So let the black church be the black church. If the black church want to help them, let them help them. I ain't got a problem with that. Now, if they get in trouble for that, then we'll deal with it at another level. But, I mean, the church has been the church forever. And when you come to the church and you say you have a need, normally they help people that are in need.
Hey, John, this is Ramon. How do you resolve or Don? Alex, may I please, Alex? Okay, ask a question.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious, how do you resolve the issue? And I'll give you my answer in a minute, but just curious, how do you resolve the issue of it being illegal? Just making it very simple, making it black and white. That's what I'm asking. What do you do
make it legal.
There is someone
just make it legal.
No, I mean the government. The government says you can't have Oh, John. Okay, come on now. See, John, you getting ready to have me my bad side come out. I don't want to have my bad side come out right now.
I'd
Don's on
rather
the
have
line.
your bad side come. You see, I'd rather have your bad side come out because then we're actually addressing the actual issue. Black churches holding people in their basement is not the issue. The issue is whether or not we're going to have immigrants in this country legalized or not.
Yeah, but Alex asked the question, man. So my point being...
But I'm talking to you now.
Oh, I see. Okay. See, Alex, see what I'm saying? See how it goes, Alex? So, okay, I'll just give you my opinion, Alex. Since John wants to be contrarian and make my blood boil, that's okay. Don, that's what John does sometimes, but I can deal with it. Here's my point, Alex. I'll give you my answer. John, you're too much, man. Alex, so my point is this. Listen, my view on this has evolved, I must say. Traveling the world in recent days, John's traveled the world a lot more than I have, been around places, Don, I'm not sure about you. Point being, I'm thinking if I'm in X country, and my family is starving, I want a better life for my kids. Alex, you can bet everything I will fight tooth and nail for them to have a better life, regardless of the rule. I have to get over, sneak over, crawl over, get through to give my family a better life. So that's A. However, now being in America, I'm thinking the law says this, says that. If that is the law of the land, then my answer, then that means the church has to decide, do we obey God rather than the law of the land? Is this a Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego issue where, O king, we know what the law says and we respect that. We're willing to burn in the fire to not bow to your image, if you follow where I'm trying to go. So if that's the issue, the church feels we have to obey God, we have to help the poor, regardless of the law, then I think that's what the church has to do. But if there's a church that says no, I must say, Alex, I think it's not so cool because you're poor, you need help, you're here. We're to help. We're to help other people. So that's what I was saying on that issue. Thank you, John, for helping me elicit that well.
Counterpoint.
Oh no! Now you scare me, Charlie. You scare me, Charlie. Go ahead. I hate when Charlie says that. I get nervous.
This is for all of you, and so this issue of sanctuary and the black church or the community helping, and at the expense of losing resources themselves and being held accountable from a legal stance. My question to you is in terms of what is it that you actually know about the policies and the protocol for becoming citizens, and how skewed is it in terms of being racist in and of itself, in terms of who has access to become citizens and not, in terms of the expediencies or the expediencies or the rules or how do you get it, and the resources to even have that happen.
Yeah, this is Ramon, Charlie. I like the question. I think that just addressing the issue of sanctuary cities first and foremost, only being a student of this, as most people just reading the newspapers and et cetera, I think that sanctuary cities, in my opinion, is a political issue. It's simply X city versus X party. Let me put it that way. That's what I believe. And I think it's a political issue. End of story. It's not about helping poor people, et cetera. I think it's a political issue and other things. In regards to, is there racism and discrimination, et cetera, who gets in and who does not? Yeah, I don't like to say it, but if I had to lean one way, yeah, I'd lean towards, I think there's some of that or a lot of that there. Does it have some practicality? Like, do we want somebody in our country that has nothing to offer financially or mentally versus someone who's a coder from another country? I can understand it, but I do think it is weighted towards discrimination, yes.
Okay, and you are being a little classist now in terms of what's needed in this country and not in terms of who can come in and who cannot. So if you begin to look at who's performing all of the necessary gut jobs right now. So who are the housekeepers, who are the street workers, who are the contractors, who are doing all, what? The nannies and et cetera, So those services are necessary and all, but you're saying, okay, you're implying that, yeah, they don't have to become citizens, but we need coders or engineers or doctors. So, to me, that's
Charlie, to clarify that, I was just regurgitating what has been said. So, but I agree with your point in that I was just regurgitating what has said in recent days. And I'll just be frank, what President Trump has said about blank hole countries and et cetera. I was more repeating that, referring to that.
Okay. You did.
But one of the fastest ways of becoming a citizen, as we all know, is to marry a citizen. And then in some cases where people have had children, like I think somebody had been here for 30 years and they had children that were like over 20 years old. I think once you're over 18, your child can sponsor you as a citizen. So, I mean, there are ways to become a citizen or to get the green card, to become legal. But that being said, the way things are going, it is kind of showing as a racist kind of way of who should stay and who shouldn't, who should stay and who should go. I think that when people are talking, when you hear discussions on TV, they're talking about people from South America or they're talking about people from Africa. But there are many illegal immigrants here from Europe, and nobody really talks about them. So I think it's a bigger issue, but what people have been talking about the most or thinking that people are talking about are the people who are from the quote-unquote S-hole countries. Mm-hmm. But there are illegal immigrants from everywhere.
Yeah.
Good point.
This is totally a race issue. This has nothing to do with immigration. It's totally a race issue. Mm-hmm. And so if they can code the words and say, well, if you are, a doctor or an engineer or something like that, i.e. white, then you can possibly stay. It's totally a race issue. I mean, it's the reason why you have sanctuary cities in a lot of these places is it's a race issue. It's like California needs those people to pick freaking fruit. It's not like they're just so loving and caring people. California literally needs Mexicans to cross over to pick their food. That's they have to have that. So I see the hypocrisy on both ends. It's all about race, really.
I agree with you because there are in Europe or in certain countries they have the visa waiver program.
Yes.
And a lot of them get the money, and they're doctors, lawyers, and they come here, don't go back home, and they are roofers, and they live in their communities. I know of one family, they were illegal. One of my coworkers married the daughter. She was able to get her family papers, and they went home after 15 years. So, and they were European. But nobody's looking for them. ISIS is not raiding their areas, and we know those areas throughout New York City. Mm-hmm. But they, but as far as the black church and black churches aiding, I guess, quote, illegal immigrants, yes, we have to think about God's word. I mean, this is a time of Lent. We have to carry out God's word. But at the same time, what do we do if we lose funding or they start raiding our churches?
And I think it's not just black churches. I think it's not just black churches, right? I mean, usually it's like, Domingo Gonzalez is holed up in the Greek Orthodox Episcopalian Church of the Third Mother Teresa version of the Sixth Archbishop of somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From Within podcast series, brought to you by Edge City Design with...
Hey everyone, good afternoon. This is Ramon Ray.
Hello, my name is Dawn Simmons.
Okay, I'm John Lawson.
Hi, I'm Charlie Sutton.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Sutton.
Produced and directed by Patty Meyer, Edge City Design. Technical Director, John Gilbert. Voiceover, Donna Coney Island. This is From Within podcast series. www.fromwithinseries.com.